Hey there, if you're a sales manager, this video is for you, and this video is part of a series of videos I'm doing on how to use AI to help you be significantly more effective as a sales manager and particularly as a sales coach. And in this video, I want to talk about prompting. If you are still cutting and pasting prompts into ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever you use, then I'm going to suggest that you are doing it wrong and you're missing out on a huge opportunity of how to use AI in a much more effective and efficient way that will get you better results and, more importantly, help you improve the performance of your salespeople much more effectively and get better results from them ultimately, which helps obviously you retire a team quota and hit your personal KPIs, etc. as well. So very much a win-win scenario if we're using AI as a coaching tool effectively. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Brian Conway, and I've worked in sales for over 30 years, but I've also for 20 years been in the world of sales enablement. So I've taught, coached, trained, written books on the subject of selling, as I said, for 20 plus years. And I wanted to give you in this video, which will be probably about 10 to 12 minutes long. So this is not just some kind of marketing thing. This is a proper piece of training content that I'd like you to invest some time in watching, because I want to give you, as I said, a better way of prompting these GPTs, these AI platforms that will help you get better results from them and ultimately, as I said, get better results for your salespeople. And at the end of this video, as part of this video, I'll share with you a very specific prompt and show how to use it, as I said, much more effectively rather than just cut and pasting it into a chat. So why do I say your cutting and pasting is wrong? There's a number of reasons, but one, first of all, you're just cutting and pasting somebody else's prompt. So it doesn't really have potentially the right context for how you want to use it or the situation you might find yourself in, or if it's a coaching prompt, which as I said, I'll share one with you later, it doesn't necessarily have the context of the situation that maybe your rep is in as well. So what is the better way? The better way is to speak the prompt, not just cut and paste it in. And this comes back to why it's wrong to just cut and paste, because when you speak, you provide the GPT significantly more information, a lot more data about you and the situation and what your outcome you're trying to achieve. Because don't forget, AI, it is artificial. It is purely making judgment on information, on data that we give it. So if we just cut and paste a simple prompt in, that's all it has potentially to go off. So speaking it can be significantly more valuable. So let me give you an example. I think this will help you understand what I mean by this. So I'll share on screen in a moment a specific coaching prompt. I'll just pull one up here on my laptop and I'll show you how I would use it and how you should use it, and you'll see the difference. Now, just to give this some context, as I said, I've been teaching and training people all over the world for many years. I have one program called the Rep Rescue Playbook. So this is coming from that Rep Rescue Playbook. But for the last few months, I've been augmenting the Rep Rescue Playbook with AI to make it much more effective, much more efficient, faster, get better results for you. Now, Rep Rescue, the name gives you maybe a bit of a clue. Traditionally, it's been about helping individual contributors who are struggling, who are behind quota, perhaps been missing their target, how to get them back up to a high performance sort of level. But it does work with high achievers as well. It can help improve their performance. But that's its pedigree, so to speak, where it kind of comes from. And within that program, I said there's a series of plays. It's a playbook to help you, as I said, recover that individual. And it's now been augmented with AI. So I want to show you an example of how we've done that and how you can use AI with the prompt that I'm about to share. So I'll put that up on the screen here so you can just have a quick sort of read through it. So if you have a quick browse through there, you'll see it's an instruction looking for help from the AI to help a sales manager run a coaching session. But I would not just cut and paste that. Obviously, if you were cut and pasting it, you'd change name to your name and company name and deal name and all that sort of stuff, right? Where the brackets are. So you could, obviously you'd customize it in that sense. But I wouldn't do that. This is how I would use this prompt. And this is how we teach sales managers now how to use AI more effectively, particularly in the coaching capacity. And just to, again, put a little bit of more context around this, wouldn't do this in isolation. You could use this in isolation. It'd be significantly valuable to you, as you'll see in a moment. But we actually build this with inside what we call a coaching command center. So we show you how to create an AI kind of coaching assistant, an agent that works with you and prompts you and helps you coach more effectively. And within there, as I said, it's like an ecosystem. So there will be other documents and things. I'll talk more about that in a second. But just, again, I just want to put this in context. But let me show you how I would use this coaching prompt more effectively. As I said, the first thing is I wouldn't just cut and paste. I would speak. So most of the GPTs these days have a microphone function where you can talk to it. And this is significantly more valuable because it brings a whole host of additional information, data into the conversation, into the prompt. And it's that data set that enables it then to be able to make more and better educated decisions and therefore give you better output. So let me explain how I would use this, and then I'll explain some of the reasoning. So let me say, or show you, if I'm about to use this prompt, I would open a chat. I would hit the microphone button rather than just cut and paste, right? Microphone button. Once it's recording, and to do that, you may have to change your security settings to enable the ChatGPT to actually use your microphone. So again, just a few technicalities to consider. But this is how I would do it. Then I'd say, hi. All right. So, and this is why I say we build a command center, because it would know who I am. But if you're using this in isolation, you would say something like this. Hi, my name is Brian Conway. I'm the sales manager at Achieve Success Limited. That's my company. I'm preparing for a 30-minute coaching session with one of my sales reps. Their name is Davy Jones. They're currently working on a deal for a company called Conshare Transport. They're a transport and distribution company. And the deal is currently in stage 3 of our CRM. Now, this is why I say build a coaching center, because in that coaching command center, it would know the stages of your CRM and therefore know what you're referring to. So you might have to, in this instance, describe that. So you say, so stage 3 is quote stage or whatever it is. Right? But see what I mean? I'm elaborating and I'm adding more information, not just literally giving it bare facts. Now, this rep is struggling a little bit. They are behind quota. They have been for a number of months now. So I want this coaching session to really help them improve the quality and the quality and power of this particular deal within their pipeline. So I want to improve the win probability fundamentally, because I feel that they've been dragging their feet a little bit in discovery. Now, that's why I want this primary focus of this coaching conversation I want to have with them to be around that discovery stage. Now, as you know, we use the simple selling methodology. Again, you may have all this data in your coaching command center, so it knows exactly what you're talking about. If not, you could say something like, I have attached a file to this chat which explains the simple sales methodology. So again, some context. Simple is a framework that I teach. It's a 6-part kind of selling methodology. So I'm obviously referring to that. Whatever it might be. It could be Medic. If you use Medic or Medpic or whatever it is these days, you could say, I've attached the Medpic overview, or if you know the Medpic kind of framework, please refer to that, or in the command center, again, refer to the Medpic documents. So again, depending on your situation, you're just talking to it as if it was a real individual. It's a coaching assistant, a real person that you're talking to. So I would say that, I'm looking to help them linger longer, okay, one of my key principles in selling, and spend more time in that value discovery phase. I want them to understand not just what the situation is, which they seem to be able to articulate pretty well where the customer is, but I don't feel they really understand the impact that situation is having on this customer's business. And I haven't seen in the CRM any measurable values associated with fixing that. And if we don't know it, then there's a good chance that the customer, okay, is unsure of the value that our solution is bringing as well. Now, what I'd like to do in this coaching session, I want it to be very conversational. I don't want them to feel threatened in any way, but I'd like you to give you some guidelines on introduction, positioning. So I said, it kind of feels like I am there to help, not to micromanage. I'd like you to give me some key pointers and maybe key areas from the simple selling methodology that we could focus on, some questioning techniques. But I also like you to write me a brief role play scenario that I could use with them. And within there, like a particular situation, but some impact definitions, some impact statements of how that problem is affecting the business, but also some key metrics. Because what I'd like to do in this role play is help them or encourage them to really drill down, as we say, to peel back the onion and try and get down to the core problem, but also, as I said, the impact and the measurable value that that's having. Because if we can practice that in the role play, they should then be able to do that with Concierge when they next meet them as in a customer situation. Now, as a sidebar, to that, you may say, please create a customer scenario that is in the logistics and distribution sector, so it's similar to Concierge Transport. Or you may say, I'd like you to create a customer scenario that's outside of the industry that Concierge is in, i.e. transport and distribution, or logistics, or whatever it might be, because I don't want them to start making preconceived ideas of what they already know. I want them to just be in a totally alien environment, so they have to ask good questions. So what I mean? So I could tell the GPT what kind of role play scenario I want, what I'm trying to achieve from the role play scenario, and none of that is in this prompt, as you can see. And I'd like you then to give me some just directions on next steps, what kind of cadence maybe you should have for follow-up, help me coach them on defining some specific actions perhaps to take as far as really qualifying this opportunity and making sure it is at stage 3. And if it's not, identifying what the areas are that are unqualified that they need to work on. Do you have any questions for me before you produce this coaching framework? Okay, that would be the prompt. And you'd never write all that. It just wouldn't come across. But see how natural it is. I'm talking to it as if it is a real individual. I know it's kind of a bit weird. And you can even name your agent if you want to, as if they're a person. Hey, Jeeves, it's me, it's Brian, obviously, and it would know you. Now, you do this in a chat. And again, the point of building a command center is this chat then becomes a living document within the GPT. It will bank all that information. You can record the coaching session you have. You could then upload the transcript of that session. It can then review that session, look at how well you did and give you some coaching tips on how you actually coach that individual, all from this one prompt. But we don't cut and just paste it in and change the name. Okay, we bring it to life with your language. And the value of using your language is that it gets to understand your phraseology, your intonation, your cadence, your vernacular, the kinds of words you use. So it'll learn you as well and how you like to do things. And therefore, as it evolves, really kind of modify and customize its behavior to give you the best outputs that you need to help you be much more effective as a sales coach and therefore get more out of your sales individuals, your individual contributors. Yeah. So that's why I say cutting and pasting is wrong. That's kind of old school. We've moved on significantly since then. And now with voice prompting, it is a much more powerful way. So you can still take something like the example I gave you on the screen earlier as a prompt, but you articulate it, you elaborate, you connect it to other documents and reference elements, and as I said, it becomes significantly more intelligent as that process rolls out. So that is how to do prompt engineering in a coaching scenario. Now, it could be anything. It could be around kind of pipeline reviews. It could be writing some emails. Again, you don't just say, give me 10 emails to send to my client to use as a follow-up sequence. It's too light. It's too basic, it's too generic. You've now got to elaborate. And when you speak, it brings in, you can almost sense the emotion that's coming in the words that I'm using. Obviously, it can't hear me yet, all right? But that probably just around the corner. But the way then it's capturing that data compared to just writing or copying and pasting something, is a significant different experience for you and for the AI, and therefore your effectiveness as a sales leader. So that's what I wanted you to take away from this video. I really hope you found that useful. If you have any questions, please just ask in the comments wherever you're watching this video. If you don't follow or subscribe, do so. I'm going to be dropping lots of these AI, sales management, sales leadership, business owner, whatever kind of position you are in. If you're running a sales team, I'm going to be dropping lots of tips on how AI can help you. If you'd like a copy of this prompt, I'll put it in the chat comment somewhere below this video as well. You can cut and paste it and use it in the way that I just described. And if you'd like to know more about AI as a tool to help you improve sales performance, particularly, as I said at the beginning, if you have an underperforming salesperson that you really need to work with and rescue them and get them back on track before you have to kind of go through PIPs and all the other stuff, getting rid of them, worst case scenario. If you really want to help them do that, then just drop me a message and ask me, or go to represcue.co.uk/webinar, and there's details of an upcoming webinar that I'm running where I share a number of additional AI coaching tactics and strategies that you can use to help you just improve sales performance on your team. And we're seeing now results where people are turning around, not in weeks or months, not in months rather, but now actually in weeks. We're seeing people going from who have been months and even quarters behind quota in a matter of 6 weeks are now on target, or at least built a more solid pipeline that's going to put them back on quota attainment within the next quarter or two. So anyway, there's a whole host of information I'd love to start sharing with you. So just follow, subscribe, or whatever. Or as I said, just go to, here's the link, I'll put it on the screen here. And at the end of the video, represcue.co.uk/webinar, and join me on one of those free web classes. I'd love to see you there. So hope you found that useful. If there's any other specific elements of kind of how to use AI as a sales manager or as a business owner and running a sales team in that sales leadership role, then just ask. Give me some clues of what you want, how I can help you, which parts of my Rep Rescue AI augmented system you'd like me to share with you, because I'm more than happy to do so if it helps you improve the sales performance of your sales team. That's what I'm all about. That's what I do. And that's what drives my passion. So thank you for your time. Hope you found that useful. Please let me know. My name is Brian Conway, and I look forward to seeing you again in another video. All the best. Bye-bye.